Okay, let's go. Nitai pada kamala Koti chandra sushitala Ye chaya jagata churaya. Okay. Nitai pada kamala Koti chandra sushitala Ye chaya jagata churaya. Nitai pada kamala Koti chandra sushitala Ye chaya jagata churaya. Nitai pada kamala Koti chandra sushitala Ye chaya jagata churaya. Heno nitai bine bai Radha Krishna paite nai Trida koridaro nitai bai Heno nitai bine bai Radha Krishna paite nai Drida koridaro nitai pai Se sambandha nahi cha Prita janma gelo tar Se pashu borodura cha Se sambandha Se pashu borodura cha Nitai na bole lo mukhe Maje lo samsara sukhe Vidya kule kori beta Nitai na bole lo mukhe Majilo samsara sukhe Vidya kule ki kori beta Ahankare mata hoya Nitai pada pasariya Asatyere satya kori mani Ahankare mata Nitaya Karuna Bhavi Braje Radha Krishna Bhavi Daro Nitai Charana Dukhani Nitya Karuna Bhi Braje Radha Krishna Pabe Daronitai Charana Dukhani Nitya Charana Satya Tara Sevaka Nitya Nitai Pada Sadakoro Asha Nitya Charana Satya Tara Sevaka Nitya Nitai Pada Sadakoroha Narottama Borodukhi Nitai More Korosukhi Rakoranga Charanera Pasha Narottama Borodukhi Nitai More Korosukhi Rakoranga Charanera Pasha Nitai Pada Kamala Koti Chandra Shushitala Ye Chaya Jagadachuraya Nitai Pada O Nitai Pada Kamala Koti Chandra Shushitala Ye Chaya Jagatachuraya Nitai Pada Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Jaya Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram, Jaya Nityananda Ram, Jaya Nityananda Ram, Jaya Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram, Jaya Nityananda Ram. Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Gauranitai. Nitai Gaura Haribol, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribol, Nitai Gaura. Nityananda Mahajanaki Nitai Go Premanandi. Hare Krishna. So I will now read the translation and we will talk about this. And then so this is a song by Narottam Das Thakur, one of our great acharyas and great songwriters. As we know that the majority of all the songs which are important in our tradition, especially in ISKCON, in our songbooks, our majority are from Bhaktivinoda Thakur and from Narottam Das Thakur, like majority of them, when you look in the songbook. And Prabhupada very much liked his songs, of course. And he wrote this song too. So the translation goes like this. So Nitai Pada Kamala, of course, it means the lotus feet of Nityananda. So it's a song glorifying Nityananda and his lotus feet, which is always quite interesting that we are always pronouncing the feet of Guru or Krishna or Radha. So it's already quite an interesting concept in itself, meaning that these personalities, firstly, they have a body, right? So they have feet, right? It's a human body, but it's a spiritual body. Yeah? So there is already a lot of our Siddhanta involved with that, right? Spiritual personality, for one thing, but not just that, also embodied. There's a form. And it's a humanoid form, so to say. It's the original form. And because those personalities are super material, super physical, transcendental, everything in their body, these bodies are completely spiritual, and the feet, which are normally the lowest part of the body, and connected with the earth, and maybe also dirty and this and that, but with these personalities, the feet are glorious and holy and transcendental. And a devotee should take these, the holy lotus feet of these personalities in consideration. And they are compared because of their perfection. They are often compared with lotus, because a lotus is a symbol of perfection and purity. So Nitai Pada Kamala, the feet of Nitai, who is a short form for Nityananda, are lotus feet, and they are Koti Chandra Shushital. And Koti Chandra Shushital means they are shining or soothing. Shushital means like soothing, so like very pleasant, like Koti Chandra, 10 million moons. So this is like the first verse. So to say, the lotus feet of Nityananda are soothing like 10 million moons. So the moon is a very important planet, of course. They are also called Graha, right? Graha. Those who capture, those who take, they have their own gravitational field. They pull, and they have also influence on every human being. When we have, of course, we know a bit of the astrology. So the moon is a very important planet, and it's also one of the most beautiful planets. Actually, he is the most beautiful planet. When we know, because we notice that Chandra, the moon god, is the most beautiful of the devas. He said it's the most beautiful. So, and the full moon is celebrated a lot. It's wonderful when the full moon is in the sky, and it's very soothing. And soothing also, especially here, we don't experience it so much, but it's in India, especially when it's very, very hot. And then finally the night comes, and then the moon comes, and the light of the moon is cooling. It's that the moonlight is cooling. Sunlight is heating. Moonlight is cooling. All right? And so it's very pleasant when you are standing, especially when you're hot, you're standing in the moonlight. It's like very refreshing, very soothing. Same way when you're cold and the sun comes up and you stand in the sunlight, it's very warm, it's very nice, right? So in the same way, it's very nice when you're too hot, then soothing. So 10 millions of moons, of course, might be very cold. Then it's quite too very cold, I don't know. But when you're really hot, when you're in the blazing fire of material existence, in the forest fire, then it's very pleasant. It's very pleasant to see 10 million moons on the sky, lightning, to bring everything, make everything light. And so Nitai's lotus feet are soothing like 10 million moons. And once Prabhupada said that there is a certain grass on the moon, a certain kind of kusha grass, which emanates this light. There's a certain light coming from the moon itself. And it's very interesting because normally we hear that the moon is shining because of the reflection of the sunlight, right? Normally that's why the moon is shining, because of reflection of sunlight. But it said the moon has its own light too. Maybe it gets converted through the moon and this light gets different, becomes different, so it's not sunlight anymore. Maybe it takes the sunlight and reflects it or something in a different way. Because it's also interesting that the moonlight is physically really cooling. It's not, the temperature difference is not big, but there's a difference. When you stand in the sun, in the moon shade, and when you stand in the sun, in the moonlight, it's more cold. You can measure this with a thermometer. It's maybe half a degree or something, but it is, which is interesting because normally it cannot be. If it's sunlight, even reflected light, it has some heat, and it must be more warm in the moonlight than if it's sunlight. Everyone understand this point? Yeah. So why is this? You can ask yourself or Google or I don't know. But it's like this, that the moonlight is cooling. You can even measure it. And so, yeah, what kind of light is it? So it's a different kind of light. And the light of the moon is also necessary for the plants, as we know. Krishna says, I give through the moonlight, I give the juice to the plants and all that. So it's a special light which is necessary for life. So and Nitai's lotus feet are soothing like millions of these moons. And so that means also when we get in touch with Nitai, with Nityananda, through prayer, through Katha, through the deity form, we can be able to experience this soothing effect. That's actually what we should experience. We experience this in many ways, even when we chant Hare Krishna and all that. In general, we experience a soothing effect through devotional service, right? That we become really peaceful and happy and uplifted, and everything becomes wonderful. So then the next line, Yechai Chagata Churai. It means, and by these moonbeams, the whole universe is relieved. Yechaya, this Chaya means the moonbeams, and Chagat, the whole universe becomes relieved. Yeah. Heno Nitai Bine Bai, Radha Krishna Paite Nai, Drida Kori Dharo Nitai Bai. Without Nitai, let's 1 second. Without Bai means brothers. Always in these songs, the brothers are addressed. Maybe can include the sisters also. Sisters also, brothers and sisters, but they only speak of the brothers. So, brothers, without Heno Nitai Bine Bai, without Nityananda, there is no possibility in reaching Radha Krishna. Drida Kori Dharo Nitai Bhai. That's why you should firmly and strongly hold on to the lotus feet of Nityananda. So especially for those devotees who have a certain inclination towards Radha Krishna's service, they should take this verse or this line especially to heart, because Nityananda, as we know and we will speak a bit about it, is extremely merciful and can give the supreme destination, the supreme goal, which is Radha Krishna, very easily. So we should hold on to Nityananda's lotus feet. And as I said, this is especially relevant for those devotees who have a desire to reach the service of Radha Krishna, which is very difficult to attain, right? It's very difficult to attain. Not Radha Krishna, I mean the desire itself is difficult to attain. How strong is the desire of a devotee to attain Radha Krishna service, right? How strong is our desire for any aspect in devotional service? The majority of the things we do because out of a spiritual habit, we can almost say a spiritual habit. It's because we are conditioned, socially conditioned in doing that. Because of, especially for temple devotees, it's the service and it's what we do every day, and of course it gives us some pleasure and it's nice, but it's a certain habit. So means that the motivation of the rules and regulations is quite strong still, right? But advanced devotees' motivation is really coming from another motivation, from, as I said, raga. Right? And also our motivation or desire to attain the service of Radha Krishna is in general amongst devotees quite weak, especially in the beginning. It's not really so strong. But these acharyas, they put this emphasis on this point that you should be very eager to attain the service of Radha Krishna. Of course, Prabhupada is actually quite mysterious in this way, because he put a lot of emphasis on service, on physical service, on preaching, and he did not make the point so much that this is somehow rather separated from the service to Radha Krishna. I more or less said this is also service to Radha Krishna. It's not just a meditational process or something like this. No, you serve Radha Krishna through your activity. And so our desire for service in general, which we should then understand also should be service towards Radha Krishna, should be strong. We should be very eager for devotional service in general and understand it's for Radha Krishna. And if we want that, then especially the lotus feet of Nityananda are very helpful, because he will give spiritual strength. And a lecture on this song, Prabhupada spoke quite elaborate on this point, that Nityananda is Balaram, or Baladev, and Balaram is strength, but it's not physical strength, right? It's spiritual strength, which is very important to be firmly engaged in devotional service. Certain spiritual strength. And when we are not spiritual strong, then we are weak. Of course, the opposite of strong is weak, meaning you're not eager, you're not inspired, you're lazy, you have trouble with your mind, you're not encouraged. It's very troublesome. Devotional service becomes very troublesome. As for a weak service person, any activity is very difficult to perform. But when you are spiritually strong, then devotional activities are very easy to do. No problem to do service, no problem to do chanting, no problem to do altar service, and you're very eager. And you understand that all these activities are helping you to reach your goal. You have a spiritual intelligence, a spiritual strength. You see everything from this point of view, not from a physical or mental point of view. So we have different aspects, and for not every aspect of ourselves is getting happy through devotional service. Right? Sometimes the mind is not getting happy through devotional service. It doesn't like it. In the beginning and during and maybe even the end. Most of the time in the end, some or other, all aspects of us are converted. And it was good that I did it, but in the beginning I didn't want to. Especially spontaneous devotional service. If someone comes and please help me. Oh, sorry, this was not in my schedule list. This was not on my daily to-do list. I cannot do that. I haven't planned to help you now, do this devotional service now, right? Spontaneous is very difficult. So not for every aspect of us, devotional service is always ecstatic for the body, for the mind. So, but with spiritual strength, we have the high intelligence, understand that every opportunity for devotional service is accredited towards my spiritual account, to my eternal spiritual account. It's marked there. And Prabhupada very often says that Krishna is very grateful and will never forget any service you did. Amazing. Huh? Krishna will never forget any devotional service you did. He knows everything, and he takes it very serious. We sometimes don't take it serious. We don't think, it's important to do some minor thing, or take the flower and bring it to the devotees, or go to the Mangalarti, go chant something. Sometimes we are not really aware, but Krishna actually takes it very serious, because Krishna is very eager for his devotees' devotion, and even the smallest devotion is already for him very valuable. This is what he is all about. So, se sambandha nahi char prita janma gelota se pasho boru dura jar. That means anyone who has not established his relationship with Nityananda, Prabhu, is understood to have spoiled his valuable human birth. Wow. The acharyas are sometimes quite strong. Anyone who has not established his relationship with Nityananda has spoiled his human form of life. It's like great waste. It's like almost useless. It's like, it's useless. It doesn't matter if you have existed in this human form. When you die and it's all over, it's like, what was it, Ridiculous. It was useless. There was no use in this human form of life. Whatever great someone has done, whatever achievement, and whatever his glories might have been, which are then recorded in the history books of mankind, and all the small children learn in school then, oh, he was this and that great person, oh, he did this and that. From a spiritual point of view, it's useless. Yeah. But if you have established your relationship with Nityananda, then your life becomes very valuable and very important. Because we have to see from the eternal point of view. Yeah? From the eternal point of view, this has value. But from a material point of view, it has no value. Whatever achievement someone has done, and even it might be celebrated for a couple of thousand years even, but at one point it stops and he will be forgotten. And the material life, or this material lives and universes, they are like eternal. Who knows what the great person has done, like 50 trillion manifestations of universes before now. Right? Universes come and go like this. And it's like for a blink of an eye, more or less, for Mahavishnu. For us, it's of course a long time, and imagine 50 trillion manifestations of these universes. And not even that is a big amount of time. Not even that is a long duration, because it's eternal. Mahavishnu is doing this creation since time immemorial, which is a not proper word, time immemorial. Prabhupada uses this, but actually it's like beginningless time. It has never started. There was never a first creation of Mahavishnu. There was always a creation before the creation, before the creation, before the creation, until eternity in the back. That means everything is temporary, right? Eternal temporarity. It's eternal temporarity, which means it destroys everything. And it destroys everything in a way that it's as if it would have not existed. So, and a life which is not used for Krishna in some aspect or other is like useless. Because of course, in one sense, your subjective experience might contribute something towards your development, right? You might say, but how much in reality? Okay, we don't want to go too much into philosophy today, or? We want to hear more about Nityananda. Such a human being is actually an uncontrollable animal. Narottam says he's an uncontrollable animal who has no connection with Nityananda, who is not self-controlled, who is not in devotional service, because he is only controlled by the mind, and yeah. Because he never uttered the holy name of Nityananda, he has become merged into so-called material happiness. What can his useless education and family tradition do to help him? So, Narottam, these devotees who have a very high realization and they're completely absorbed in this spiritual experience, they can speak like that. Yeah, for us, this might be, in one sense, it's too high of a condemnation. It is too strong condemnation because we require certain material situations. But the more we dive into this spiritual consciousness, definitely you will agree to that statement completely. Yeah, right now not, because we have not realized it. But imagine you chant Hare Krishna and suddenly you have Shuddhanam and you cry in ecstasy and the whole spiritual world manifests in front of you and you see all the truth of it, and in contrast you see the uselessness or the pittiness of the material existence. Of course you will say, this is useless, this is terrible, this is all animals, this is shocking, wow, this is the real thing, right? Then it's obvious. So for us now it's not obvious because we're still quite bound by this conditioning nature. So Narottam, he really knows what he's talking about. In the end, he feels, he experiences Krishna and the truth and sees this is not reality. Being mad and after false prestige and identification with the body, one is thinking, oh, what is Nityananda? What can he do for me? I don't care. So now he paraphrases someone who is, not understanding Nityananda. And like, there are a couple of incidents actually in our Shastra also where someone could not understand Nityananda and was somehow rather rejecting him, especially the brother of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Somehow rather he had no appreciation for Nityananda. And Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami took this as a hint towards, I have to reject this material life and all these people, and they have no respect for Nityananda. How was it? There was one great devotee. He came into the house of Krishnadas Kaviraj and his brother. I forgot his name. He was also quite an Avaduta character. Yeah? Nityananda himself is called an Avaduta. Avaduta is a transcendental person who is quite uncommon and hard to put into a box, so to say. And sometimes he does things which seem to be contradicting, towards the principles of spiritual life even. But they can do things because for them it doesn't matter anymore. They are so transcendental, nothing in the material life could somehow harm their devotional or their spiritual consciousness. Yeah, things which we cannot do, some things we don't do because they are hindrances in devotional service. But they are so spiritual already, it doesn't matter. They can do anything more or less. And they don't do it because of sense gratification if they do such things. They do it just because of their rasa and lila and who knows what's going on there. Like one example is, what was his name? Vamsidas Babaji. He is probably the best modern example for an avaduta, because we rarely have real examples of such avadutas except from Shastric accounts. And Vamsidas Babaji lived maybe like in the time of Bhaktisiddhanta. Bhaktisiddhanta knew him, yeah. And he was so out of the box. Sometimes he even smoked bidis, yeah. And it was not that you could blame him. Nowadays, if some ISKCON guru, smokes a bidi, you would probably say, I reject you, Guru Maharaj, yeah? You're not my guru, you're not spiritual. It's just a bidi, what's the problem? No. Of course, it doesn't work like that. But he did think. Or how he behaved with his Shaligram Shila. This was probably the most outrageous, even worse than smoking bidis. Because he was in Vatsalya Rasa and he had a Shila, and the Shila was, his child. And he had this relationship with Krishna, and sometimes Krishna was naughty, and then was calling Krishna ill names, and how can you do that, and you have to behave, and be on this and that, and sometimes Krishna was too naughty, and he bound him on a rope, and he threw him in the river. So this is what you get when you're naughty. Like Mother Yashoda binding Krishna with a rope, something. Just threw him in the river. Things like this. So, I don't know. You have some experience of that also. Kripa Sindhu also was once very heavy with his deities. Yeah. Sometimes, So anyway, this is called avaduta. These are things which you cannot do, which will not do. And we understand these personalities, they have their own realizations, and for them it's okay. So, and Nityananda was an avaduta. He did many very outrageous things, and sometimes devotees or people criticized it. Yeah. So, and this one devotee came in the house of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, and he was a devotee of Nityananda, because Nityananda had a certain group of his own devotees. There was kind of his own sampradaya also, which was very much dedicated also towards Sakya Rasa. Yeah, it's called, Nityananda had 12 main disciples, and these were the so-called Dvadasha Gopals, the 12 main Gopals from Vrindavan, like Madhumangal and Sudam and Sridam and all their names. Huh? And they were also appearing in the group of Nityananda. So, and one of them came in the assembly, in the house of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, and he was there, but he was disrespected by the brother of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami because he was an associate of Nityananda, or he was not treated properly, and so he became really angry. He had a flute, and he broke the flute, and he was saying, "Wow, how can you disrespect Nityananda?" He was taking he was not seeing this disrespect towards him, but he saw he's disrespecting me because I'm a disciple of Nityananda, full of Nityananda. Because if I would be a disciple or follower of someone whom he respects, then he would respect me also. I'm like a representative, right? So he took it, "Oh, you are disrespecting my Lord." And then he left and was very angry. And Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami said he had lots of faith in Nityananda. For him, there was no issue, there was no doubt that Nityananda is pure and perfect and transcendental, and that he's actually Balaram. Yeah, but his brother did not understand that, and so he left. He had a dream at night. He had even a dream when Balaram, I think it was Balaram, appeared and told him, "Go to Vrindavan." And then he made his pilgrimage towards Vrindavan and met the Goswamis and became then Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami and wrote all the literature. So, and here, maddened by false pride, someone might think like that. Yeah, so we should not think like that. We should always understand Nityananda is completely perfect and pure, and we should not make this a mistake. The result is that he is accepting something false to be truth. If you actually want to approach the association of Radha Krishna, you must first achieve the mercy of Lord Nityananda. The association is an association of Radha Krishna. The most interesting destiny for a devotee. Association of Radha Krishna. Imagine you have the association of Radha Krishna, the spiritual world, in the company of Radha Krishna. This is you're very privileged when you get that. Imagine being in the association of Radha Krishna, serving them, watching them, being in the association, knowing all the surroundings, being engaged in service there, being accepted by them. "Oh, you're here, nice. Please do this service. Oh, bring me this, bring me that. Come, we go to the forest now, this and that." You're part of the group, part of the clique. Yeah, clique. Clique. Yeah, you're part of it. You're one of us. You belong to us. So, and this is possible through the mercy of Nityananda, because Nityananda is very merciful and is not distinguishing. Yes, he's giving the mercy to everyone, as we know from the Leela with Chaga and Madai. Who would do that? Haridas Thakur was saying, "No, we don't go there. Look at these two rascals." Like sometimes on Sankirtan, you might have a situation where you see someone say, "No, I will not approach this person or this group of people or whatever. I should, but I cannot." Maybe I try, but... But sometimes those who look the fiercest are the cutest. Or sometimes I tried this big Hells Angels guy. "Hello, do you like to read like a book?" And he goes, "Oh, yes, thank you. That's very nice." Sometimes that happens. And they are very nice. Yeah. So, but Chaga and Madai, they were like drunk and they were crazy and they were beating up people and everyone was like far away from them. And Nityananda said, "These are the best because Patita Pavana, we have to save the most fallen. They need it the most." And even Haridas Thakur said, "No, stop, we cannot do that. This is dangerous." And it was dangerous, of course. But Nityananda did not care. He wanted to give them mercy. And of course, we have to understand our capacity. Yeah. Some devotees, they got really hurt because they estimated their mercy capabilities. So I can save the whole world. No one will escape my mercy. I will turn the heart of everyone around. No problem. I'm powerful Sankirtan devotee, preacher. And then they go back into the Sankirtan van with a bloody nose. Oh man, it didn't work. Yeah. So, but Nityananda, of course, is exceptional in this way, and we have to follow in some respect in that. So when he is merciful toward you, then you will be able to approach Radha Krishna. Therefore, you should firmly grasp the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda. And yeah, definitely, how can we do that in a practical way? Yeah, preaching, for sure. It said preaching is one of the ways which pleases Nityananda so much when you follow in his footsteps and pleasing Prabhupada. And we should, because sometimes we might think, oh, how can I reach this supreme goal and this and that? I'm not so much engaged in studying the scriptures or chanting or meditation and to cultivate directly this pristine goal. But you never know what will come just like that because you pleased Nityananda or Prabhupada, who is a representative of Nityananda. They can give everything like this. They can give everything like this. And sometimes in Shastra is explained when you read in some Leelas. I think it was also I read in the 8th canto in the in the Gajendra story. I don't remember the details, but it said that the Lord just gave him the Swarup. Right? Because sometimes we think, oh, Swarup, how do I get it? And I have to meditate on it. Yeah, it's a process, but Krishna can check. Here's your Swarup. But why try so hard for it? Here's your Swarup. Check. Now you're this and that. He and she, or he or she, or whatever. But this comes when we please the Lord and do what is necessary. And preaching, helping those who are really far away from Krishna to help them to come closer. Krishna is very, very merciful. And he sees, you could have used all your time for developing your spiritual identity and this and that. But no, you said, no, I don't do that. I have to help them. What does it help them when I sit in my room and chant 64 rounds? Nothing against 64 rounds. Very good. We should do that also. Yeah, it's very good. It's very important. Yeah, but we should not neglect helping conditioned souls, helping to bring them to Krishna. And Krishna will be very pleased. No problem. Don't worry about your spiritual form. Here, you will get it. Now do this. What is your mission? What is the mission? And then, Krishna gives you the spiritual form and you enter into the Leela. Why not? Therefore, you should firmly grasp the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda. 4th line. The lotus feet of Nityananda are not illusion. They are a fact. One who engages in the transcendental, loving service of Nityananda is also transcendental. Always try to catch the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda. This Narottam Das is very unhappy. Therefore, I'm praying to Lord Nityananda to make me happy. My dear Lord, please keep me close at your lotus feet. Yeah, so these songs, these acharyas, they were singing these songs really out of, what is the word? Feeling or realization, or they really meant it, like this. These are not like, they are also poetic, but it's not like just, they write like in a poetic way. How do I write this? And this sounds good. No, it's actually expression of their inner experience. They really meant that what they were writing, and they were singing it. Because in singing, it's a certain, in one sense, it helps to express your feeling. But if you're not feeling it, it helps you to develop the feeling also. So, you understand? So it works from both ways. So devotees should use these songs and try to sing them really with understanding. So we have the problem that we don't understand the language. It's sometimes difficult. Maybe we should have some German songs which express our devotional inclinations. You can write your own songs and then sing them. Yeah, no problem. But we have these traditional songs and we should use them. And devotees are very engaged, absorbed in this inner experience. Okay, so this was the song. Then I want to quote a verse and speak something. It's also a bit more philosophical, but today in the evening, Paramahamsa will speak more on Leela. There's an important verse. Pancha tattvatmakam krishnam bhakta rupa swarupakam bhakta avataram bhakta kyam namami bhakta shaktikam. It's from Chaitanya Charitamrita, explaining the Pancha Tattva. And I found this verse very interesting because it explains the Pancha Tattva. And this Pancha Tattva, it's like what does the word Pancha-tattva anyway mean? Why are they called Pancha-tattva? Okay, Pancha means 5, but Tattva, right? They are not called Pancha-purusha, persons, 5 persons. No, Tattva. They are called Pancha-tattva because they stand for certain aspects of Tattva, of the truth. And the truth is a person. Right? Tattva, the truth is a person, the supreme personality of God. That is Param Tattva, also called Param Tattva. So they stand for 5 aspects of the truth. And in this verse this is mentioned, which aspects they are, but they're all in connection with bhakti or as bhaktas. So these 5, you can say, foundational aspects of the absolute reality appeared as bhaktas. So this is more or less the point in this verse. Those entities or aspects of the absolute truth which are foundational for existence appeared as bhaktas. You can say, are they normally not bhaktas? In one sense, yes or no, yes and no. From one point of view, of course, they have their function in the whole picture, and to facilitate, to help Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his Leela, they appeared also as bhaktas. But it's not just that, because more or less in essence, all these energies or aspects are bhaktas also. Because that means they are servants of the Lord. But in this verse also, or let's say in the more defined application of these principles, they are appearing in this humanoid form in this world. So they have also a bhakta rupa, a bhakta form. They appear as like regular bhaktas. So that makes this sounding a bit anthropomorphic, but I would say anthropomorphic in a more positive sense of the term. Like these personalities appeared then as bhaktas. Right? So we have Pancha Tattvatmakam Krishnam, Bhakta Rupa. First is Bhakta Rupa, referring to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He's referred as Bhakta Rupa. Then you have Bhakta Svarupa, who is Nityananda, or Bhakta Rupa Svarupa Kam Svarupa. Then you have Bhakta Avatara, who is Advaitacharya. Then you have Bhakta Akyam and Bhakta Shakti, Gadada and Bhakta, and Bhakta. So this was like this. Bhakta Shakti, Gadada, and Bhakta as like Bhakta, like just Bhakta, just Bhakta is Srivas Thakur. So first Bhakta Rupa, meaning the supreme person, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, appeared in the form of a Bhakta. Okay. Then Bhakta Svarupa, or Svarupa. Why is Nityananda is called Svarupa, or Bhakta Svarupa, or Svarupa? Svarupa, Sva means their own, Rupa, form. But it refers to Nityananda as Balaram, who appeared as Nityananda. You can say Svarupa is Balaram and Bhakta Svarupa is Nityananda. Because he's their own form, or the first expansion, the first principle. Let's say like this, the absolute truth, Krishna, and is the original foundational entity. And then he emanates into Balaram, from whom all the other Vishnu Tattva expansions come. So he's like the prime, evil, original expansion of Krishna. So this is Nityananda. Then Bhakta Avatara. Advaita is called Bhakta Avatara. It's very interesting. Why is not Nityananda called Bhakta Avatara? And I really have no conclusive answer. Maybe we can read also in Chaitanya Charitamrita towards that verse. But as far as I understand this Bhakta Avatar means, because it's Mahavishnu, who is kind of already, because Avatar means someone who descends. Avatar means like a transcendental entity in the material world, who came into the material world. In that sense, of course, Krishna is also Bhakta Avatar. He comes also. All of them come. Yeah? But those who are kind of always here are the Purusha avatars. Because the Purusha avatars are certain expansions of Krishna whose function is to govern the material world. So they're kind of always there. So Mahavishnu and then all the other Vishnus and Paramatma, of course, who is very, in every nook and corner, in every part and parcel in the universe. Yeah, so and Advaita is Mahavishnu, so as the original Purusha avatar. Yeah, and then you have Bhakta Shakti, who is Gadada, because Gadada is a form of Radharani. I think he's the most mysterious of all of this Panchatattva. Radharani coming in a male form and being in this Leela and all that is very, very mysterious actually. And some Acharya worship more Gaur-Gadada, right? Bhaktivinoda Thakur said to worship Gaur-Gadada, because they have a certain different mood. They have a different mood, where the mood of Radha Krishna somehow or other is more manifest. And in the end, you have Srivas Thakur. He is called Bhakta. He's just Bhakta. So there are 5 personalities, but only 3 tattvas. You have Vishnu Tattva, Jiva Tattva, and Shakti Tattva. Yeah. In one sense, you can call Advaita kind of on the border, because he's also Sadashiva. And Sadashiva is Shiva Tattva. So in that sense, actually you have all the 4 tattvas. Right? But all of them are Guru Tattva. Then you have this Tattva also, because all of them function as gurus. The word Prabhu in very often Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is called Prabhu in Chaitanya Charitamrita. And also it's actually, Krishna Das Kaviraj says, in this Panchatattva there are 3 Prabhus. There are 3 Prabhus. Yeah. So, because they are Vishnu Tattva. They are actually the Vishnu Tattva. So, Advaita is not really called towards the Shiva Tattva, but it could be in one sense. So, but they are Vishnu Tattva. And there are 3 Prabhus. There are 3 Prabhus. And when you read the text, very often Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is called Prabhu. And then it's just said, Prabhu, this and that. Yeah, he did his Prabhu. It's a very, very respectable address, actually. And recently I heard that actually, we know that, but Bhaktisiddhanta more or less introduced, in one sense, calling inferior personalities Prabhu, which is not normal, or it wasn't normal. So now we call it Prabhu. Men call Prabhu, Mataji, okay. But Prabhu. Actually, it's very interesting that there are some devotees, lady devotees, they more or less demand being called Prabhu. And we might think it's a little bit weird, and it is weird. But they have a point, because it's very unfortunate, but Prabhupada called him Prabhu. That's the point. Why one lady, what's her name? Bhaktivedanta Manor, no, she's Vishaka, yes, Vishaka Prabhu. And also who else? Malati also, Prabhu. And we think it's weird, and we think, oh, they are like feminists. But actually, Prabhupada called him Prabhu. And that's why they say, you have to call me Prabhu. Because Prabhupada called me Prabhu. And it's my name, more or less. It's my address. It's okay. It doesn't mean that every Mataji shall be called Prabhu. And it's weird, but why was Prabhupada doing that? Why Prabhupada? Now there's a complication here. Yeah. So, but just to that point, maybe they have also some feministic tendencies. I don't know, maybe. I don't know. So, but Prabhu was a very respectable address, and it was used for Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu, we say also Mahaprabhu, to distinguish between all the Prabhus, he's the Mahaprabhu. But he was very often called just Prabhu, so it's a very respectable address. And Bhaktisiddhanta, in his real humility, addressed his own disciples Prabhu. Yeah, and it's very revolutionary in one sense. And I heard that often in India, that when you say Prabhu to someone, they're like shocked, why do you call me Prabhu? It's like call you president or something, I'm not Prabhu, I'm not the president or something. For us, it's so normal now. We learned as devotees right from the start. It's nice. And yeah, we should understand it is very respectable, and we should not say it also too unconsciously, actually. So Nityananda is Svarupa in this constellation, and that means he's Balaram. And that's why Prabhupada talks a lot on Nityananda's divine position as Balaram and what's his mood, Balaram's mood, which is reflected also in Nityananda in this Avadut way. Because Balaram did also quite uncommon things. Or sometimes he was somehow or other even against Krishna. In a couple of incidents, they had like a quarrel, or they said they saw it differently. And Balaram said, no, we should do like this. And Krishna said, no, we should do like this. And then there was a quarrel. One incident was, who should marry Subhadra? And it was actually no question. Balaram said Subhadra will be married by Duryodhana. That's how it goes. And then Arjuna, of course, came, and they fell in love with each other, and Krishna helped Arjuna that Subhadra does not get married to Duryodhana. And Balaram was very angry. How dare he kidnap my sister and, destroy my plan? And in the end, it was fine. Krishna cooled him down. It was okay. Balaram had very certain affection towards Duryodhana. He was teaching Duryodhana to fight with the club. Anyway, we don't go into this now. This is different. But so Balaram has this mood, right? He's also sometimes drunk, and with the Yamuna, all the stories. And so also Nityananda reflects that to some degree. And he's an Avaduta. It's already 9 o'clock. Sorry, I will. Yeah, but still, I will not talk too much more. But I think the main point from this song and also from Nityananda's personality, which we should really learn and take to heart and imbibe, is this preaching mood, or this mercy mood, this unconditional mercy mood. And it's not easy from different points of view, but it's very important to really look towards the spiritual welfare of all people. To see everyone as spiritual soul and understand everyone belongs to Krishna, and what can I do to help this person to get to Krishna. This is like Nityananda's, one of his main, maybe even the main motivation or meditation, or is in essence what he wants. And this is why it's called Guru Tattva. Because the Guru should be always motivated by that. How can I help this person to come to Krishna? No other motivation. Not how can I get some money out of him? How can I get some praise from him? How can I help him in his health condition and explain how to get vaccinated nicely? This is not Guru business. Sorry, I have to add this. I'm so fried with it. I'm so fried. It's good that everything comes back now, the Guru is only concerned, how can I help this person towards Krishna, and speak in this way, see where he is at, what are his next steps to take, what are her next steps to take. So the Guru should know the disciple and help towards that goal. And Nityananda was doing that. He was so merciful. And this is why Mahaprabhu sent him also to Bengal to preach, because Nityananda wanted to stay with Chaitanya like many of his dear associates, and some could, but some Mahaprabhu sent out. No, we have something more important to do. Like the Goswamis, they love to stay with Mahaprabhu in Puri. But then he said, no, you have a mission. You go to Vrindavan, you do all this, whatever these instructions were. And also Nityananda, he wanted to stay, but Mahaprabhu said, no, you go to Bengal. This is your, how is it called? Prabhu Datta Desh. Prabhu Datta Desh. This is your land, which is given by your Prabhu, by your master, for you to cultivate, to preach. This is your Prabhu Datta Desh. It's a very nice concept. It's my land. Desha means land, my land. So, where is your land? Where is your Prabhu Datta Desh? When I was sent to America, I thought, this is my Prabhu Datta Desh. Portland is my Prabhu Datta Desh. And I will stay there the rest of my life and preach. I'm sitting here, so it didn't work out. Higher forces brought me back, but I was thinking like this. This is given by my guru, by my superiors to preach, to cultivate. So you have also Pottenstein is your Prabhu Datta Desh. No, now it's expanded. Austria. Because they have their own society. They founded Iskon Pottenstein, and Pottenstein is a very small village in Austria. But then you thought, Pottenstein is a little bit, we underestimate our power. Iskon Austria. That's more befitting. So, but it's true, this is your Prabhupada Desh. You are from there, you want to preach in a certain area, this is very important. Yeah, so this is what we should do. No? So everyone should have his Prabhupada Desh minus more digital Prabhupada Desh. But this is, yeah, so everyone should have, sometimes the little family is your Prabhupada Desh. Okay, take care of the family to help them become Krishna conscious. This is already quite a mission. Yeah, but something to think about others. How can I help others become Krishna conscious? So, and Mahaprabhu sent Nityananda to Bengal, and Nityananda was not so inclined. Nityananda was also, and he said also, become a Grihastha. Meaning he was not a Grihastha. But what was he then? There's a big controversy. What was Nityananda? Was he a sannyasi? Or was he, Or was Avadut? Exactly. Yes, he was, what? And this is also what Advaita said. Of course, it's in a joking way, but there was some truth to it. Nobody knows who you are, where are you from, what's your class, what's your varna, who are you, what is it, And Nityananda said, what do you know, you old smarta brahmana, you have no clue, It's transcendental. But anyway, and then he went to Bengal and he married two sisters, and had a very powerful son, Virabhadra. No? But he preached there, and I recently read it in Chaitanya Charitamrita. I forgot the whole line, but there was the word sahaja. He was sahaja, which means natural. He was preaching in a natural way, and it's very interesting. He was preaching so much, he was so influential, that many parts of Bengal really became, at least strongly influenced by kirtan, right? Because this is what he was spreading, the holy name. But at that time, there was no standard. We cannot think now how we think nowadays. When we become devotee, we go to a bhakta program, and this is how you speak, how you dress, how you eat, how you think. Yeah, we have a very specific theology. We are quite educated and really organized. But at that time, it wasn't there. There was not even a book. There was no book. Of course, they read Chandidas and they read Jayadev and these old books, but they were more like poetic. Yeah? But there was not a Gaudiya Vaishnava Siddhanta, right? This was all written later by Jiva Goswami, by our acharyas, by Bhakti-rasamrita Sindhu. All that wasn't there. So more or less, Nityananda preached just by kirtan and converted many people towards what? To kirtan. There were many Buddhists there in Bengal. And suddenly they were chanting Hare Krishna and devotional songs, but they were still Buddhist. And they even thought Nityananda is a Buddhist. Yeah, there's a whole sect of Buddhists who are kind of disciples of Nityananda. But they were not going way further than that. And many social societies and groups became inspired by Krishna Bhakti and by Kirtan, but were not, there was no standard. And this is where all the upper sampradayas came from. That's not to say. Because they were devotees, but not proper devotees. They were still keeping all their things. But when you do mass preaching like this, it's only possible like that. Right? To really bring someone to standard, if we would say standard from our standard, you have to go through a whole educational process, which is quite, you cannot take care of millions of people like that. You can only take care of a small amount. Except you have a big educational infrastructure, which is a huge thing. So it wasn't there. And sahaja means natural. Meaning naturally preaching, everyone should chant Hare Krishna and whatever nature you are, no problem. He was not distinguishing. That's why he called Patita Pavana. He gave it to everyone. Right? And then many upper sampradayas in the generations to follow. Maybe at his time it was kind of okay that he was so influential that everyone was suddenly up to a very pure spiritual standard, and later on all the impurities crept in. Who knows? But as we also know from our preaching, when there is no real education and process and follow-up, the person will not advance so much further, and he might be a friend of devotees and chant Hare Krishna, but keeps all his stuff. Yeah. So that's why we call it Prakrita Sahajya. Right? Prakrita means material. There's a material naturalness in this devotional service, which means and one thing also, Prabhupada said, these Prakrita Sahajyas, it's bad. From one point of view, it's bad. But from another point of view, it's good. He says it's better than like Mayavadis and all that. Because they are devotees. They are just not proper devotees. Especially when it's really Prakrita. Meaning very materially motivated. And maybe when even materialism is put into a devotional dress. This is real Prakrita. Meaning, my material situation is spiritual. Right? This is then called Prakrita Satya. I also think that the material natural situation is already spiritual. And they go into, anyway, this is another big topic. But the main point I wanted to make now is that Nityananda was preaching a lot. He was very merciful, brought everyone up to into Krishna consciousness, influencing the whole land. But in later generations, and this is why Mahaprabhu said, write the scriptures. We have to have scriptures. We have to have education to really understand what is our Siddhanta, how to practice, what is the proper thing. And this is what the Goswamis were doing. And then many generations later, of course, Bhaktisiddhanta, who went a big step further into really making a society, making an institution, rules and regulations, dress, appearance, all that. Yeah, before that, it was not so formalized, so to say. Yeah, but it had to start somewhere. Yeah, Nityananda was a very important part in this. And yeah, as I said, we should have also some outlook towards that, our motivation. How can I follow in this way in Nityananda's lotus foot steps and hold on to his lotus feet, and so he will drag me towards Goloka Vrindavan. So when you keep on his feet, because he's walking, right? He will not be hindered by you clinging on his feet. He will not fall over, right? If I take your feet, you will not walk far. But so Nityananda is so powerful, you can hold on to his feet and he steadily keeps on going towards the spiritual world and drags you there. Okay, Hare Krishna. Any questions or comments, Balaram?
I was thinking, trying to connect these two characters you talked about in Nityananda. He's an avatud.
Yeah.
He's not much concerned with rules and regulations, which is not to be imitated by us sadhakas. And at the same time, most pleasing to him, you said, is preaching, and he was impartially just giving the mercy to everyone and preaching the holy name to everyone. So I was trying to connect those 2 points together, and remember Prabhupada also, how at the beginning he was never preaching actually rules and regulations, but so much begging everyone almost to preach, to chant Hare Krishna, to chant the holy name. And at the beginning, like only when they sat at the Yajna-kund, they were introduced to the rules for regulated principles and so on. So the question is, and now also I'm thinking about it because I've seen some new bhaktas here and never lived in a temple and so on. Where do we draw the line to when do we start preaching rules and regulations?
I think there is no line, there is no standard, because it's very individual, and we have to see according to, time, place, and circumstances, and person, and then see what is necessary for this person, what is the next step, what is the lifestyle of this person. No? So that's why I said Guru means something. Prabhupada said it, he has to know his disciple, and then he knows where he is. Of course, so it is, what is your position and what's the goal? Yeah. But so in order to reach the goal, you have to know where you stand, and when you know where you stand, you have to know. Then you know which direction to take, because it's very relative, right? If you're in the south and you want to go to reach a goal in the north, you have to go, of course, north. But if you're north, this goal suddenly is in the south, and you have to go other direction. Yeah? So the guru has to really understand where is this person at, and according to that, I will tell him something. And for someone, you will tell, you smoke 5 cigarettes a day. Yeah, so you will, as guru, you have to tell someone smoke 5 cigarettes a day because he's smoking 20. right? And you have to start somewhere. Huh? So this week or this month 5, then 4, then 3, and then until 0, right? It's interesting instruction, right? But it's true. It has to be like that. And someone you will tell, chant 64 rounds. He says, oh, he's just like that. For him, you will tell, oh, become a brahmachari. And you will tell him, oh, become a Krsna. It's very individual. So then the goal is clear, but how to go there is very individual. And that's what I mean, that to bring many, many, many people towards higher consciousness is not possible in that sense, except for a very good infrastructure of gurus and institution. Because one person cannot do that alone. Because as you know, as many of you know who are counseling people and engaging with people, it's very intense. And sometimes you have to talk with someone hours. Yeah, you can take care of only a couple of people really in a quality way. Right? So that means we need so many gurus, so many teachers, so many mentors. Right? And then it works. So it's very individual. I could not say draw the line. Right? But of course, we have a temple here, and temple standard. And for temple, of course, very quickly you have to see if is someone qualified to live in our association or not. That's another thing. Yeah, definitely have to draw some line, and we give some leniency in the beginning. But if someone is not coming up to our requirements, he cannot stay here. And it's manifold. Materially, also spirit. It's not just spiritual, also materially. If someone is materially not qualified to stay here and out, because this is like our family, right? We are very close here. And someone has to be very qualified for that. Yeah. Okay. Anything else? Yes?
Hi, Krishna Prabhu. Thank you for the really enlightening class. I just wanted to, because you mentioned that other Pandit is Srimati Radharani. Well, I once heard that he's the shadow of Srimati Radharani. Could you explain a little bit more?
That's why I said for me, I don't know too much about Gadara. For me, it's too mysterious. Because I heard different things also. Radharani, incarnation of Radharani, shadow, mood, her mood. But who is Gadara then? Yeah. Right? So is he then an aspect of her or just an, so it's you can research yourself and find out what it means and who he is really. So, yeah. Mysterious, very mysterious. Because there's also in Gadada Das, right? There's in Gadada Das, who is said is the effulgence of Radharani, right? Another Gadada. So it's a bit hard to understand. But somehow strongly connected with Radharani, has a very certain, very specific, very intense relationship to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So there are some leelas at least where we can understand him, learn something from him. He's the one who found Tota Gopinath deity in Jagannath Puri. So he was living in Puri. He got also the instruction to never leave Puri. He was like a, how's it called, sannyas. How's it called? Kshetra sannyas. He was a Kshetra sannyasi. And Mahaprabhu had very intense association with him and hearing Krishna Katha. Anyway, some leelas also, but from this ontological point of view, it's quite difficult to understand. Is he really Radharani or just some aspect of her? Yeah. But in one sense, it doesn't matter too much because even the shadow or the effulgence of Radharani is so much Radharani. For us, it's enough Radharani in that sense. It's not like, oh, it's not really Radharani. No, it's very strong connected. Huh? Yes, you mean that Gadada is Radharani and Lalita. Yeah, sometimes there are descriptions like this, that there's one person who has two other persons embodied. Yeah, that makes it even more complicated to understand. Because Radha Lalita, you might even say, it's kind of okay. But then you have Ramananda Roy, who is actually Radha Lalita. No, Vishaka. Plus, who was it? Arjuna or what? Something like this. Who was it? I think Arjuna. Yeah. Then it comes, what? Yeah. So nicely confusing. Yeah.
Regarding Nityananda, is there some meaning in it in relation to Varnashram? How he behaved, how he preached, because how you are talking now about this, it came to my mind, is like an ashram system, rules and regulation, not at all considering
Yeah.
preaching one.
I would say the same was what I said to Balaram. It depends on the mentor, or call him guru, whatever, to see how to apply. And also, it's also true that not every guru, in like from a more, how to say, differentiated point of view. Of course, there are the power gurus who are like really so above everything and they can do. But in general, as we in ISKCON should really do it, that a guru takes care of a couple of devotees or a kind of limited group to really have quality mentoring. But there are also gurus who cannot take on any disciple, because sometimes their disciples, it doesn't fit. So a guru will have some certain devotees. And maybe there are gurus who have some devotees who are more into Varnashram Dharma, need that, are good in that, and he will be expert in teaching that. And some are, I don't want to call it more advanced, but are differently, and they are somehow or other maybe more absorbed already in Kirtan or in Katha or whatever, and they are suddenly this rules and regulation, I'll say Varnashrama is not so important anymore, because Varnashram Dharma is a stepping stone. There's no doubt about it. Varnashram Dharma is not the purpose of life, but it's very helpful. So yeah, Varnashram Dharma is very important, definitely for Grihastas, for sure. There, it applies a lot. But from the other point of view, we should come to this platform of devotional service, and this is what is most important. But maybe we cannot imitate Nityananda's approach towards that. Okay, Rajajan. Okay, willst du noch ganz kurz? Ich beantworte ganz kurz.
My question is, Lord Nityananda was preaching mostly in the streets, I think so, Avanam and converting the people.
Yeah.
And nowadays, the preaching is going more and more online. And you were making both, I think, in the street,
Yeah.
try to cultivate people, and now you're doing something online. So my question is, how much we are following Lord Nityananda with his online preaching, because it comes to my mind when you are in the street and you meet the people, it's more personal. Maybe not so many you can reach, but it's more quality, maybe, in my understanding. And the online preaching, you have more quantity, you can reach more people. But how can you cultivate them and be more personal, and that they really join after some experience?
Yeah. You expect me to answer this in 1 minute, huh? I can't give a whole seminar on this point. So I don't want to even start, but I would just say like this, that online there's so much possibility of being very personal. And I would say just one thing. My guru, I always ask my guru, I want to distribute so many books, please give me blessings to distribute so many books. And he said, yeah, very good, but make devotees. And I felt this is what he really wants, but this is what I was not doing. I distribute many books, but I was not making many devotees. Hardly any devotees. Sometimes someone came to the temple, you gave me a book, now I'm here, and we joined or something, but this was rare. And since I'm online, I'm making so many devotees. Might not be always like our temple standard devotees, but they are becoming devotees, and many of them. I don't know how many, but like hundreds at least. Yeah, everything. Chanting, deities, reading, everything. Become devotees. Krishna, Supreme Lord, I want to serve him. So that means this is the Guru's blessing. So that means this preaching is very personal and very effective. As a book distributor, I was not hardly making any devotees.
So that means there's maybe also some change in ISKCON.
It's not about the online, it's about, I would say, platform for education. When you have a good platform for education, because we have such an amazing philosophy, and this is so amazing what we have. And for sure, many people want to know that and want to be devotees. For sure, it's so wonderful. But I always compare it with a samurai sword. You know, these real good samurai swords, they are so sharp. and you cannot, if someone knows how to fight with this, he's like, it's very powerful. So Prabhupada gave us a samurai sword, but we don't know how to use it. Sometimes we even cut ourselves. So we have to learn how to fight with this sword. This is our philosophy. And when you know that, it's so powerful. And fighting through the Maya. And people are amazed. Wow, that's so wonderful. So great. Yeah. So we have to learn it. Study, be good devotees, and then present in a way that people say, wow, it's amazing. I want to have that. Yeah. Okay, Nityananda Mahachan ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Prabhupada ki